Good morning, world. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. This is going to be another very interesting video. You guys will see this video in a couple hours from now, on around 7, I know, a good like 6 hours from now, whatever it is, 7 hours from now, you guys will see this very interesting video, as well as the rest of the world. All you guys in North America will see it in the morning, and all you guys in Europe will see it when you're awake right now, obviously. Because right now, people in Europe are what? It's like 10 o'clock, and it's like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in like Europe right now. So you guys will see my what? You guys will see my amazing, interesting video. And you guys better enjoy this very interesting series while you still can. I'm saying, all you Zayn's actors, I'm talking to you guys, you also better enjoy this series while you can. As I'm only going to save you for Zayn's, and that's it. After Zayn's, the journey ends, and you're going to go back to Hall being left behind. You're going to be a side tension. You see what I'm saying here? Keanu Reeves, Ben Affleck, and Scarlett Johansson, you guys can see the future. If you're chosen for the Great Escape, I'm only going to save you for that movie, and that's it, man. After that, you guys, the actors are going to beg, obviously, but I told you, I'm only, for my movie, it's a one and done, and that's it, man. And once you're my movie, I'm not resigning you. As you're not, as what? It's not, I don't want the same actors in my movies, and it's not fair to the Hollywood actors who are all desperately singing the realism, son. It's not fair to the agents, even the big agencies guys in Hollywood are going to be desperately telling these actors, hey, make sure you narrow with all these with these Zayn's actors and Great Escape actors because they know my Scorsese company is the biggest for branding entertainment industry. It's bigger than Hollywood, and it pays more than Hollywood in most cases. Even with the royalties, sometimes Hollywood can still pay more. As I told you, Tom Hanks signed like a what, like a 100, like $12 million deal. He's gonna make $60 to $100 million in royalties with his talk from myself. So there's exceptions, but it's rare. My point is, on average, my company blows out of the water because I'm paying the actors more money on average for their salaries. I'm giving them a piece of the pie, and my movies are gonna do like $100 billion. Zayn's will do 100+ billion. The Great Escape will do like maybe 70 billion. This is only if seven. I'm being humble here. This is if 700 million people buy my movie. It'll do like 70 billion. The Great Escape. So Keanu Reeves and Scarlett Johansson will make a bit less. Obviously, Keanu Reeves and Scarlett Johansson. If I give her 0.1%, if my movie grosses, me and VJ will make like maybe 40 billion off the Great Escape around there. We're gonna because I'm gonna all my movies after Zayn's I'm gonna price for $100, 99.99. Where Zayn's is 160. Hence why what? Zayn's is 160. Hence why me and VJ will make less. We'll make like 40 billion off the movie and merch. Me and VJ. That's if 700 million. If a billion people buy it, me Keanu Reeves will make more. Obviously, Keanu Reeves will make about like $70 million, 66, $70 million in royalties for The Great Escape. If I do $70 billion, so he signed a massive what, like $130 million deal with Keanu Reeves. Still easily beating out Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna walk away with tens of millions back. And Scarlett Johansson and Ben Affleck signed like a $7 million deal. They signed a massive contract. Yeah, man. My company still beats all. Scarlett Johansson and Ben Affleck will make like maybe 22, $25 million in royalties. For excluding their 47.5 and 46.5 an hour. So that's a good paycheck for them, as they don't make that in Hollywood. So Scarlett Johansson only made 20 million for Black Widow, and Ben Affleck I heard made like 12, 15 million for Justice League or something like that. And so I'm easily beating on Hollywood, you know what I'm saying? And if Hollywood offers them a piece of the royalties, they cannot compete with my royalties, as my movies are going to gross way more money than the Hollywood movies. As all the big budget movies do like 800 billion, 1.5, you know what I'm saying? They like, you know what I'm saying? Whereas my movies are doing tens of billions, as the actors are striking it rich. You know what I'm saying? They're striking it rich. The contract Keanu Reeves signed is one of the biggest movie contracts ever in Hollywood history. It's not as big as his Matrix contract because he made $250 million for Matrix. But like after the Matrix, Keanu Reeves never made that kind of money. He probably made on average just 10, 15 million for his movies, and he might have got a piece of the profits and made maybe 35, 40 million bucks. Keanu Reeves. So Keanu Reeves, the contract Keanu Reeves is going to sign, guys. But chances are a good like 900 million to even a billion people are going to buy a movie. And if a billion people buy a movie, Keanu Reeves will make closer to his $100 million in royalties. 90 million, $100 million in royalties will make. You see what I'm saying? Because something tells me more than 700 million people are going to buy my movie. Probably maybe a billion. I told you, Amazon is not in all the Amazon is not in the Middle East. They're not in Africa either. You see what I'm saying? So that cuts down the what the and don't forget the majority of the population of the world is children. You know what I'm saying? There's more children in the world than adults living in the world. The children make up the majority of the population. That's why it cuts down the amount of people. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we're looking at about like you're pretty much looking at all of Europe and North America, and you're looking at like New Zealand, Australia, China, Korea, and like Japan, those places. Whereas Amazon is not in the Middle East. I believe they're in a few places in South America. You know what I'm saying? But South America, all the countries only have all the countries only have like 15, 20 million people living there. There's only like a few million people are gonna buy a movie. You see what I'm saying? So you're looking at like maybe 800, 900 people buying a movie around there. A billion people maybe. If 700 million people buy my Zayn's movie, John Boyega and all of them will make like 3.5 million in royalties, which is so he's John Boyega signed like a 12.5 million contract. Avon George signed like his 7.5 million contract, like fat contracts, yeah man. Danielle Monette signed like her 6.5 million contract. You see what I'm saying? Ariana Grande is gonna make like 16.5 million in royalties. She signed her like 20 or $21 million contract in Ariana Grande, and Don Cheadle will make his like 9.9. He signed like about like a $20 million contract, 19.5 million contract Don Cheadle signed. Yeah, I'm paying all the actors a consistent millions. You know what I'm saying? But I'm being humble here. This is only if 700 million people buy a movie, guys. If more than 700 people buy, if 1 billion people buy a movie, the actors will make more. John Boyega and them will make like 5 million royalties. You know what I'm saying? Ariana Grande will make like 19 million in royalties around there. 19.5 million royalties. She'll make more. Don Cheadle will make his 10 plus million in royalties. 11 million royalties. 12 million royalties. You see what I'm saying? They'll make a bit more. You see what I'm saying? But if 700 people buy a movie, which is probably around that range, they're going to make all the people who are taking 0.01% are making a nice 3.3 million, 3.5 million royalties, which is a nice paycheck, man. The secondaries are getting a nice $3.5 million in royalties. They made a nice, what, $7.5 million for my movie. Nice contract. Walking away with what, a $4 million check, $4.2 million check in the bank, the secretaries. And the other guys are making their, like, what, their $6.57 million paycheck. They signed a nice $14 million deal, $15 million deal, the other threes. There. My company easily beats out Hollywood, yeah, man. Jon Favreau will make, like, if 700 million people buy my Zanus Blu-ray disc, Blu-ray movies, obviously, Jon Favreau will make, like, 70 million in royalties. Jon Favreau. And Jon Favreau, they only get their Canadian dollar. They don't have to worry about the rates. Whereas Ben Affleck and all them, and all the actors in the movie who live in America, they have the rates. But even with the rates, I'm still easily beating out Hollywood, you know what I'm saying? But after so I don't give a shit about the rates. I'm still making my millions. Yeah, you're walking away with tens of millions in your bank, man. Ben Affleck and Scarlett Johansson are gonna walk away with, I don't know, for Zenith, for the Great Escape, they're gonna walk away with like 35 to like $40 million in their bank. Ben Affleck and Scarlett Johansson for the Great Escape. It's a fat check in the bank, man. And Keanu Reeves is walking away with his like $50+ million in the bank. Keanu Reeves, $50+ million in the bank. Keanu Reeves is walking away with after taxes and the rates. Don't forget that. 50, 60, 70 million Keanu Reeves is walking away with after the Great Escape movie. Around that range, right? He's walking with a fat check in the bank, man. A fucking fat paycheck, yeah, man. But that's all they're getting, man. Like, if they get cocky, and if Keanu Reeves and Scarlett Johansson get cocky and their agents push for 0.5, I'm like, guys, you're not even worth my fucking royalties. I'm just generous enough to give you a piece of the pie, to keep you happy, and to what, that way you work harder for them. And because they're big actors and they're going to create buzz, give them a nice piece of the pie. That way they're invested in your movie. If you give the actors a piece of the royalties, they are now invested in your company and they're invested in your movie. You see what I'm saying? They're invested in your movie. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If you don't give the actors a piece of the pie, they're invested in your movie, but they're not as invested. The moment the actors share in you and VJ's wealth, the actors are now invested in your movie. And hence they'll work even triple harder for you. Even I told you, but the only way I'll give the actors a piece of the pie in my 7 team is if I take home 61%. If I take home 60, my 7 team and all of them are not getting squat. As I'm not giving Peter Jackson and all of them are not getting squat. But Amazon will agree to 61. Amazon will agree to 61.39. They'll agree to it because they know they're gonna make, I don't know, they're gonna make their like 45 billion, 48 billion off Zanus for the movies and merch. And they're going to make their like what? They're like 20. Amazon's going to make their, what, I don't know, 28 billion off the movies and merch for what? For the Great Escape. They're making their tens of billions. Hence, they're going to agree to the deal. It's a deal. Even though because the Amazon knows at the end of the day, me and VJ are the main show. They're making that money because of me and VJ, because they're my distributors and they're able to distribute my movies worldwide or across the globe, all over Europe, all over North of Canada, the States, obviously, and China, Japan, and all those countries, Korea, New Zealand, Australia. Give them a nice piece of the pie, obviously, but they're not getting any more than 39%. That's my final offer. And I'm gonna put in a contract with Amazon, no hidden fees, no referral fees. I don't want you charging me some bullshit 99 cent referral fee and have you take what? Have you take what? Have you take hundreds of millions of billions of dollars in royalties off my money? No. You're not charging me any referral fee. I have the keys, hence you don't charge me any bullshit referral fee. I have the keys, everyone's connected to my mind, everyone around the world knows my movie. Don't charge me any stupid referral fees. No hidden fees. I'm gonna write that in the contract. No hidden fees, no 99 cent referral fee, no hidden fees, and you don't charge me and VJ for the payments. You get your flat 39, I get my flat 61. That's the deal. If I find out that they breached the deal by charging me some bullshit $1.50 fee, I'll take Amazon to court, and me and VJ will end up winning, obviously, and what? And I'm going to terminate the contract with Amazon, and I'll release my movie online. They're missing out on the billions. I'm going to be very, very strict. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Which they won't. They won't do that because they know, okay, guys, do not rip Ivan VJ off. We signed a contract. Yeah, you sign a contract. You have to honor your contract. You can't rip me and VJ off, man. You get your flat. The deal is 39% of all the profits. I'm not going to do gross net deals. No, otherwise I can rip you off. Just say 39% of all the film profits, 39% of all the merch profits. That's the deal. No hidden fees. No hidden fees. Write down the contract. No hidden fees. Movie only released on 4K Blu-ray. I don't want to release on DVD or Blu-ray. No, make my company unique and top-notch. Release it only on 4K Blu-ray. The way my company's top-notch. And what? Yeah, release it only on what? On 4K Blu-ray, and you don't charge me, VJ, for the payments, and you don't take a percentage from me of the payments. I don't want you taking 1 or 2% of my money. No, man. You get your 30%, me and VJ get our 61%. That's the deal. And I'll take 1% of my money and I'll divide it with the 17 and the actors. See what I'm saying? That's all the actors get. But I told you, some actors might get cocky and try and even get 1%. My guys, man, if you think I'm going to give you, like, I don't know, $450, $500 million worth of my money, you're crazy. You're not worth that. I'm nice enough to give you a nice small 0.1%. You know what I'm saying? You're going to make your nice 22, 25, $30 million in royalties. That's a good contract, obviously. $35 million in royalties. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll give you 0.2%, which is nice, what? 40, 50, 60 million dollars worth of royalties, $7 million worth of royalties. And I'll give you 0.3%, which is a nice 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 plus $1 million in royalties. That's a good deal for the actors. And you get your rich salary and your bonuses and your what? And your merch royalties. And your $2,000 gift card, and that's my deal. And your commercial money, that's my deal. If you don't like it, you're more than welcome to what they don't set my deal. It's a deal. You're paying me more than what Hollywood pays on average. Yes, I'm paying you way more than what Hollywood pays you. They'll all set my deal, obviously. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Peter Jackson will make like $200 million in royalties. If 700 million people buy my 4K Blu-ray movie and my 4K Blu-ray movie, Peter Jackson will make 200 million in royalties. But you also have his New Zealand rates, obviously, hence that's like 220, 225 he'll make. So you sign like a $300 million deal, Peter Jackson. Right? If 1 billion people buy my movie, Peter Jackson will make closer to $400 million in my movie. He'll make like 370, 370 maybe, 380. He'll make more money. Chances are he'll make closer to that 400 million range, Peter Jackson. $380 million, $370 million deal he signed. He signed a massive contract. The biggest contract ever for a director. As no director in Hollywood signed a contract that. But except for maybe Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg signed massive contracts. There's a reason, because Steven Spielberg, he got a lot of money for his movies, and he took a good chunk of the profits for his movies. That's why he's so rich. He's worth like $4 billion, Steven Spielberg. He's loaded, man. You see what I'm saying? He's loaded, Steven Spielberg. And George Lucas he signed a massive deal. He owns Lucasfilm, so George Lucas signed a huge contract. He took all the money for the box office for his movies because he's the owner of his company, obviously, and he also made a show of the money off the Star Wars merchandise. That all went to George Lucas. Yeah, that's why George Lucas is worth $7 billion. He's loaded. You see what I'm saying? He's loaded, man. Yeah, that's my deal. Hence why when Peter Jackson signed that contract, all the directors in Hollywood are gonna be shocked. Holy shit. Peter Jackson signed like the biggest movie contract ever for a director. Yeah, man. He a bigger contract than even his Lord of the Rings contract. For Lord of the Rings, he only made like $180 million for Peter Jackson. For The Hobbit, Peter Jackson probably made like another like 100, maybe 50 million bucks. He probably got a piece of the profits for The Hobbit too, Peter Jackson. You see what I'm saying? He made his millions off The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, obviously, but it's not the kind of money he's making off for my movie. Or Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson, if he signs his contract, he signed like a massive like 200, like 40 million, $50 million deal, Mel Gibson. He'll make like I don't know, 170 million and 170 million in royalties, and he's with his $56 million salary. Yeah, he signed like a 240, $230 million deal. Not as big as Peter Jackson because I'm paying him a bit more. But Mel Gibson signed his massive $200+ million deal, like a $230 million deal he signed. Hence, he'll work harder for me, obviously, if I choose Mel Gibson over Peter Jackson. There's a high chance I might choose Mel Gibson over Peter Jackson, guys. I'm just speaking hypothetically, you see what I'm saying? Whoever I choose. Yeah, man. My company will be top notch. Ivan, how top notch will a company be? I don't know. Think something like Incredibles. Think something like Incredibles for, Think something like Incredibles for, what? Think something like Incredibles for my company. No, Incredibles 1, Incredibles 2, the top high end. You saw the top high end houses, the top high end technology in the jet with the GPS. Yeah, think of something like that for my company. My studio office, a high tech payment system like Wayne Tech. Like where the account punches in. I want to tell the Andrew, look, man, I want you to design the best movie payment system possible. The best payment system for movies. Like the 10%, you have 10, 15, 20, 5% of the agent's royalties, and they get, and you just type in the guy's salary or woman's salary, you type in the agent's 10%, and the system does all the work, and the money gets wired into all their accounts. Yeah, we can do that for you. Yeah. Okay, how does 600,000 sound? Oh, I mean, that's high tech. Like, Ivan, 100K is more than enough for your payment system. That's more than high tech. No. I'll make it more high tech. Put 600K towards it. And they designed some super advanced high tech payment system for my company, like with a GPS, where the money gets wired into the actor's account, man, like a direct deposit, right? Direct deposit, right? The actor gets the salary gets deposited into the actor's account. Something to talk about. All you actors in Hollywood know what I'm talking about. You can see the future, man. You know me and V's are gonna own that top notch Skyscraper Entertainment company, man. We're gonna be boss, man. We're gonna be rich like Batman, man. After I release Zayas, I'm gonna be rich like Batman. Yeah, man. Batman's worth $80 billion in the comics. Once I release Zayas, me and Reed are gonna make like 60 billion around there. 65 billion off the movie merch, perhaps even 70 around there. 70 billion we're gonna make. We're gonna have like what? Like 80, 90 billion dollars in our bank. We're gonna be rich like Batman. Yeah, man. Boss rich like Batman. Hence why Skysource is more than enough. I'm not going to waste my time investing my money in a bunch of stuff. No, man. Me, VJ, we have the keys. Yeah, we don't need to invest our money in other business. No, we don't need to invest our money in other business. We're making more than enough money off the movie and posters and merch. More than enough money. We don't need to invest our money in other businesses. I'm not interested in investing my money in other businesses. No, VJ. Stick to Sky, so it's more than enough. We're making more than enough money. That way we have tunnel vision. We can focus on growing our Sky Entertainment company, obviously. Making movies, growing the brand, right? Yeah. Obviously. Yeah, but I guarantee you when I sign the actors for Xanax, Peter Jackson will be a bit shocked. He'll be like, holy shit, Ivan, man. Like, this is the biggest contract ever for a cult, for an entire cast for a movie. Not the biggest contract ever, no. The biggest contract for an entire cast. As no contract has ever been signed like this before in Hollywood. As Hollywood can't afford to sign. Hollywood can't afford to pay 15 of the major stars like their consistent millions. No, man. How it works in Hollywood, if they had like 15 actors, they would pay like two guys their millions and everyone else gets their shitty $300,000 salary. The Hobbit actors got their shitty paycheck too. The actors for The Hobbit made their like $250,000, $300,000 salary. They all got their shitty money. Yeah, because Hollywood's cheap, man. Chances are, if you do like a medieval sword movie, chances are the actors got shittier money because those movies are very expensive to make. So what Hollywood does is they pour most of the money towards the movie. You know what I'm saying? And they'll hire maybe one big star, pay him his millions, and everyone else that gets their shitty salary, their $300,000 salary. That's how it works, man. Yeah, man. You see what I'm saying? That's how it works in Hollywood. Whereas Ivan paid all the Zane's actors their fat, big contracts. Avon Joji signed, I don't know, a $7.5 million deal. perhaps even 9, 10. It just depends how much. If I'm assuming if 700 million people buy a movie, I don't know. Avon Jose signed his $7.5 million deal. John Boyega signed his $12.5 million deal. Andy Serkis signed his what? He's like $11 million deal. You know what I'm saying? Digimon Su signed his what? His like $14.5 million deal. They're all making their consistent millions, right? Don Cheadle signed his $20 million deal. $19.5 million deal. Idris Elba signed his what? Idris Elba signed his what? His like $19 million deal, $19.5 million deal, $20 million deal. They're all making, you know what I'm saying? Danielle Minette signed her what? Her what? Her like $6.5 million deal, $7 million deal around there. Eli Cornelius, Sirius, those actors signed their $7 million deal. All the consistent millions, yeah, man. Ariana Grande signed her massive $20+ million deal. $21 million deal, yeah. But she's gonna make the most money for the royalties. I'll give her 0.05, which is like 16+ million in royalties. 16.9, I think, 0.5 around there. Yeah, she'll make her like 17 million in royalties, Ariana Grande, with her $5 million salary. Yeah, $2 million deal she signed, a massive deal. All these actors are all making their rich, consistent millions. The actor Queen Sarah makes her 8.5. I'm giving her 0.01. She signed her nice what? $11.5 million deal. Yeah, my company blows. All the actors signed massive contracts, guys. For my movie, man. Yeah, man. Hollywood can afford this. That's what I'm saying. How it works in Hollywood only pays like one or two of the main stars a lot of money. The one main star, they can pay him 20, 15, 12, and they'll pay maybe another major star, maybe 4, 5, 3, 6 million, 8, 7 million, and then everyone else gets their 500,000, 400,000, 250,000, 800,000 because Hollywood, you have to have balance. Hollywood does not have the kind of budgets I have. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. You see what I'm saying? They don't have the kind of budgets I have. They can't compete with my company, you see what I'm saying? They pay the actors a lot of money, obviously, but it's not the kind of money I'm paying the actors from my company. I'm paying the actors way more money than even what Hollywood pays on average. And there's exceptions where Hollywood can pay some actors more. Like Tom Cruise signed his massive deal, obviously. Keanu Reeves made his $250 million. Will Smith, I heard, made $100 million for Bad Boys for Life. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, Dwayne Johnson, I heard, made like $40 million for his past movies. But even then, I'm still easy beating out Hollywood. As the bigger A-listers, I'm giving all of them a piece of the pie. 0.1, which is like 22+ million in royalties. 22, 25, 30 million in royalties for 0.1%. 35 million in royalties. 0.2 is like 40, 50, 60, $60 million in royalties. $70 million in royalties, 0.2. And 0.3 is like 60, 70, 80, 90, $100 million in royalties. Just depends on how much my movie grosses, obviously. Chances are more than 700 million people are going to buy a movie. Hence why I'm assuming my movie will gross more than 700 million. Hence why I up the royalty amount a bit when I talk about it. Obviously, you see what I'm saying? Yeah, man, my company's gonna blow out of the water, guys. And all you Xanax actors and know what I'm talking about. You can see the future. Vijay knows what I'm talking about. She can see the future. She knows, obviously. Hence why she had that picture. She wore that sweater in the beach, and she's like, boss. Yeah, me and Vijay are going to be boss when we're king and queen, man. We're going to be boss. There's a scene in that Instagram live video she did back in 2017. You see Victoria Justice, she has a cigar in her. She had that cigar. Remember that? And she had money, and she was counting the money. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Remember when she did that? Yeah, because me and Vijay we're gonna be loaded, man. You know what I'm saying? I know when we sign that, I don't know, when I do yacht parties with Vijay, me and Vijay, we do a yacht party in the boat. We have a cigar together. Me and Vijay have a cigar together in the yacht. Cheers, Ivan. Me and you are king and queen billionaire. Now, I made like $17 billion off Zanus. Around there, 18. My guess is I'm going to make probably $20 billion around there for my book, man. It's guaranteed more than 700 people are going to buy my book. You're probably looking at like 800 people. I'm probably going to make, I don't know, 17 billion or something like that for Zanus around there. 16, 17 billion for my book. Because most people are going to buy my ebook. My ebook I'm only pricing for $22. It's cheaper. That's why I won't make as much. Whereas because I'm pricing my movies for like $100, I'm going to make a lot of money off my movies. More money than even how much I made off my book. My books are cheaper. I'm only, like, probably only, I don't know, maybe only like 30% of the world will buy my print, and the rest, 70% will buy the ebook. because the ebook is cheaper. And plus, a lot of people around the world don't want to wait. Yeah, I don't want to wait like 2 weeks for Ivan's book. I'd rather just pay $22 and read on my laptop, read on my phone. Yeah, no one wants to wait. Hence why most people are gonna pay the $22 and buy the ebook. And so I'll make like 16, $17 billion off Zanus. I make a lot of money. Maybe should be loaded. Yeah, man. I'm bragging on my channel now, guys. But once I'm king, I'm not gonna brag. I don't like bragging, man. No one will know how much I made except for video. Well, I have the keys. I have the keys, obviously. But I'm not gonna make it official to anyone how much I made. You see what I'm saying? I'm not gonna make it official to anyone how much I made. The only one I'm gonna tell how much I made is VJ. If Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni ask me how much I made, I'm not gonna tell them. Guys, it's none of your business, man. I don't want to hurt your feelings. I'm not gonna tell you how much I made, man. I don't want you guys to feel like shit. As the amount of money I made off my Zane's book is what? It's so much more money than how much your entire net worth. I'm not gonna tell you how much I made. I'm not even gonna tell Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni how much I made for my movies and merch. If they ask me, guys, I'm not gonna tell you. Even though Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni signed, I don't know, Jon Favreau signed his massive $100+ million deal, and Dave Filoni signed his like $40-50 million deal for my Zane's movie. It's pocket change compared to how much me and VJ made for what? It's pocket change compared to how much me and VJ made for what? For the movie merch. As we're gonna make like 60, 65, $70 million for them. I'm not kidding around. Me and VJ are gonna make like 60, 65, $70 million for the movie and the merch. Like a lot of money we're gonna make, man, me and VJ. Richer than all these celebrities by a mile, so their wealth is all pocket change, guys. Chump change. Think about it. All these celebrities are very, very powerful. They're rich. They're worth 150, 200. Even their wealth is pocket change. We're VG's wealth, you know what I'm saying? Because we're fucking God. We're much bigger than all these Hollywood celebrities. Yeah, man. Right? The only people whose wealth is like is what? Is on par with me and VJ's wealth are the rich billionaires around, like Jeff Bezos. You know, so by the time me and VJ do what? By the time me and VJ do like 3 movies, we're gonna be richer than Jeff Bezos. We're gonna have close to even like 170 billion in our bank around it. We're gonna become even richer than Jeff Bezos. Because Jeff Bezos is worth like 140, 150 billion right now. He probably has maybe $90 billion in his bank. We're gonna be richer than even Jeff Bezos. By the time we do the 3 movies, Jeff Bezos will be richer than us when I do Zane's. But by the time I do a couple movies, we're gonna become even richer than Jeff Bezos. Because we're so powerful, we can make our easy. Jeff Bezos will become really rich too because he's gonna make his billions off me and VJ's movies, obviously, but me and VJ are taking a large percent of the pie, you see what I'm saying, for the movie. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Give me a second, guys. I'm gonna go get some tea. I made some tea earlier, like 30 minutes ago. Give me a second, guys. Sorry about the wait, guys. 30 minutes ago, I made like some nice breakfast sausages. I'm eating that with ketchup right now, and I'm drinking some nice tea. So if you hear me, I sound weird because I'm eating something, I'm drinking tea, obviously. Yeah, sorry for the wait. I hate when you do that. Yeah. If you guys can skip the video. Usually I take a good minute to a minute and a half, minute and 50 seconds when I go upstairs. So you guys can skip the video if you don't want to wait, obviously, for me to arrive back to my room, obviously, right? Yeah, man, that's how rich me and VJ gonna be, man. Me and VJ, by the time I do They're Unique, me and VJ are gonna be pretty much richer than Jeff Bezos, man. And by the time I do my 5 movies, me and VJ will be either just as rich as Elon Musk or even richer than Elon Musk. And Elon Musk is the richest man in the world. He's worth like $200+ billion. Well, the richest people in the world are the gatekeepers, but the gatekeepers are kept behind the scenes, obviously, because they have to hide their wealth when me and VJ were born, obviously. You see what I'm saying? Okay, Ivan and VJ cannot know that we're rich. Let's act like poor people. Don't keep your mouth shut. Nobody mentions that we're the gatekeepers. Because the gatekeepers are the richest people in the world. Obviously, they're way richer than Elon Musk. My stepfamily are probably worth like $1.5 trillion to $2 trillion. They're fucking loaded. In other words, Jeff Bezos' wealth and Elon Musk's wealth is pocket change to the gatekeepers. As the gatekeepers probably have like, I don't know, $1 trillion, like $3 trillion, $5 trillion in their bank, man. They're fucking loaded. They're way richer than Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. They'll be even richer than me and VJ. You see what I'm saying? They'll be even richer than me and VJ, man. Me and VJ are going to make a lot of money from the movie, but we're not making the kind of money the gatekeepers are making, man. The gatekeepers are taking a small percentage of the hundreds of trillions of money around the world. You do the math, man. They're making like, I don't know, $100+ billion a year in their bank. Yeah, they're fucking loaded, man. $100 billion a year, guys. Like, me and VJ are only making like $65-40 million for each movie project. They're making like $100 billion every year. Around there, probably, right? They're making their tens of billions every year. Yeah, man, they're fucking loaded. Come on, come over here.